Bobby wanted to board a new train, but unfortunately for him, this was his final stop. Welcome back, guys. Fog Entertainment here to review the penultimate episode of The Sopranos, and we see a couple of Tony's guys getting whacked. Bobby absolutely dead. Sil, for all we know, could be dead.
Yeah, intensive care. He won't regain consciousness, so he's basically a vegetable and Feto's a fruit. So on that note, it's the Blue Comet. Episode 20, Season 6, War finally hits the doorstep of New Jersey, New York, right? And I think we'll get into it a wee bit more later, but I think Tony's crew, right? The actual planning that goes into this war from them is borderline unacceptable. I say borderline, no, it is unacceptable. See if you actually compare their planning for war to New York, no wonder Phil Leotardo backs up Carmine's crew that, Jersey's their glorified crew. But we'll get into it. We begin the episode literally out of nowhere. Silvio kills Soprano soldier Burt. You didn't even know who this guy was. He's made a couple of appearances throughout the show. Again, not a great job with this character. Silvio kills him because apparently he was playing double. He was playing double agent for the Libertazis. He was playing New York and Jersey. Again, there's been no build up to this. The episode literally just begins with Silvio, with a wire around his fucking throat. There's no in episode 16 he made a phone call to Phil, and in episode 17 he met up with Butchie. There's nothing. He kills him as quickly as I've just described it. Literally, it's over. Don't really understand it. We then cut to Brooklyn. Phil sits down with, I believe the guy's name's Albert, but the Wikipedia is calling him Albie, so we'll go with Albie. He sits down with Albie and Butchie. Phil's like, you know what, no more. Sopranos gotta go. Carmine said they're a glorified crew. They took out Fat Dom. The man harbours a faggot. Talking about Feto. Billy. Now Coco. It's all over, and you two, I want you to organise the hits. We've got to cut the head off the snake, and I want Silvio and Bobby. So Phil puts out a good plan here, in my opinion. He wants Tony, he wants Silvio, and he wants Bobby Baglieri, which we'll get into later on. AJ finally gets out his hospitalised mental health state. Who really cares at this stage of the game? But I tell you what, there's one thing worse than this. The Dr. Melfi scenes. Let's wrap it up. So she's sitting having dinner with her psychiatrist. He finally reveals to everyone that she's been seeing Tony Soprano this whole time. And then she's like, oh shit, I could get indicted if he ever goes down. So then she just basically cuts ties with him. And that's it. And I cannot help but feel, folks, this has been a waste of 6 seasons.
Yeah, if you add up all the screen time that Tony spent with her, you're talking hours and hours, aren't you?
Yep.
And for what? What was the payoff?
It's not even like it was Tony that cut ties, it was her.
But what was the payoff in the end?
No, but how idiotic is she, right? To only realise now that, holy shit, I could be indicted, I could go to jail, I could be seen as like a witness. To only realise that at this stage, man, in the end game period, is ridiculous. Anyway, that's her wrapped up. Who cares? Tony's not too happy about it. He ripped a page at the magazine, some steak recipe, then he stuffed it back in and stormed out. We're fucking done. We then cut to Tony. He goes to Saltieri. Saltieri's looking a wee bit light these days. He's told by Agent Harris that an informant in the Lupertazzi's crew has told him basically that Phil plans to whack him out. So at this point, Tony knows, right? He sits down with Bobby and Sil. I was like, honestly, this almost cringy scene in Artie's restaurant where they're shadow boxing each other. It's like, yous three have came up with the pishest plan in the history of mob hits here. Because essentially, Tony's like, we kill Phil, right? So then he tells Bobby and Silvio. They then tell Paulie. Paulie then basically wants nothing to do with it. Tells Patsy. Then Patsy basically gives all responsibility to the junkie guy that Chris dealt with through the 2 guys that can't speak English and the Italians. And to me, I have never seen, right, and it's not an adaptation, but I've never seen a crew across any TV shows that I've watched that are the main crew of that show look so fucking weak in their hour of need.
Yeah, this is a pretty big hit. This is taking out fucking Phil. You'd think that Tony would want his best guys on it, and for it to go to a couple of... Were they not flown over for Italy?
Yeah. Yeah, no, the same guys that killed Rusty, I believe, earlier in the season, right? But it's just so half-assed. It's like Tony gives it to Paulie, and I've already explained it, but it's like it's like just passing responsibility. Look at the way on the other hand Brooklyn handle it. Phil tells what do you call him, Albie and Butchie, right? I want you to wipe out the top three guys, right? So what happens is they go to a bunch of other guys and they basically explain who we're wiping out. One of the guys is like, well, why are we wiping out Bobby? What about Paulie? He's like, no, Bobby's number 3. He's like, Bobby? Didn't that guy used to drive Junior Soprano a bit? He's like, yeah, but you used to sell microwaves at the back of fucking Extra Vision, buddy. So, what, back of the line for you, pal. Right? But at this stage, like, Paulie passes it off to Patsy. He wants nothing to do with it. The Italians arrive. So they're going to wipe out Phil. But of course, what happens is they do not wipe out Phil. They wipe out some Ukrainian guy. And it turns out to be he's the father of the Ukrainian Gumar that is with Phil Leotardo. And how retarded it's this. And then you get this like whole conversation where they ask Patsy over the phone, here, does Phil Leotardo speak Ukrainian? Of course he doesn't speak Ukrainian. Why would he speak Ukrainian? And then Patsy tells Paulie, and Paulie's like, it's alright, Sil, we did it. And then Mumar, or whatever his name is, walks over the newspaper. He's like, who the fuck's this look like? It looks like Phil. They've no killed Phil. They've killed some random Ukrainian guy. At this point, it's code red. Silvio visits Tony. This is like their last conversation. He tells him that here, it's bang bang good night. We killed the wrong guy. Basically, right, we need to anchor down, change collections, change routines, all that stuff. Janice pays a visit to Tony, says that Junior's money's dried up, so we need you to pay for it. You know what? Janice is just an absolute bastard. Bobby has got enough. They've got enough money to pay for it, right? And Tony's actually gave them that house, Johnny Sack's house, and he's promoted Bobby quite a lot. And Junior shot Tony. I know we can hold Tony to a wee bit here and be like, well, you know what, Junior's head's fucked. But you can still see why Tony would hold a grievance with him, correct?
Absolutely, guy shot him, and
but this is just Janice making Tony pay for it.
And Tony's paid enough, I think, over the years for Junior. So
absolutely. But essentially, at this point, all shit hits the fan. They try and reach out to Bobby Bacaleri, but he leaves his phone in the car. And to me, this is just like the fucking height of ignorance here. It's like, you're at war.
And you leave your phone?
No, but not even he leaves the phone in the... He's going to a model railway shop.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded.
Like, I like Bobby, right? He's truly one of the likeable characters in this show, but he's speaking with a guy, he's like, the Blue Comet. The guy's like, yeah, that train, buddy. Bobby, he's at the counter, you hear the bell go, ding dong, Botch. Sounds a bit shite, but he gets sprayed down with a whole liver of gunfire, buddy. Absolutely D tier. Bobby, he gets shot, 8 bullets hitting like a vital organ, then he smashes through the train setup. The Blue Comet goes off the rails. He's lying there dead. So basically the first casualty of this war is, well, I was going to say it's Bobby. I guess you could fire in the 2 Ukrainians, so there's 3. But Bobby's the first big hitter. I mean, I'm not surprised at the 3 that Bobby is the first to go.
Aye.
Out of the 3 that they want. So Bobby did.
Why are they only aiming for 3 though?
Because they're the top 3. They kind of want to... They want to deal with the Soprano crew, but basically they don't think they can deal with the management, the current management.
Did they maybe think Paulie's workable with, since he was feeding them that information before?
They don't know about that, though.
I suppose.
That died with John.
I still think it's mental that Paulie's considered lower than Bobby.
Yeah, but as we've seen in this episode, Paulie doesn't want any responsibility. He's like, I got through the 70s by the skin of my nuts, and he basically calls Bobby a fat bastard right in front of him. He's showing no respect to the fact that Bobby's number 3, but also wants no responsibility and is completely distancing himself from this, in my opinion, because I think he believes that New York's going to win, and he'll be there to, reap the rewards of that. Silvio and Patsy then pack up items from the Bing, but then they're hit by 2 Libertazzi hitmen, Ray Ray and PTB. And you know what? I think this one is surprising because it literally happens like 10 seconds after Bobby gets hit. So essentially, Silvio's reaching in the back for his gun. He gets shot like 3 or 4 times. Patsy lays down some covering fire. And then what does he do? He fucking runs away.
Like a shite bag. Yeah, just pretty poor. Probably no one will know he ran away.
No, maybe no one will, but just leaves... Yo, Silvio's in a coma, right? But Patsy could have redeemed it here. But it just shows you they don't really care about each other. Name me another TV show where... Could you imagine if Hank ran away on Goomy?
Yeah, we like shit.
Like, I know you could say they're police and it's a wee bit different, but here, this is a mafia. It's supposed to be blood.
Sons of Anarchy. Can you imagine if a member ran away on another one?
It would look fucking piss poor, but that's exactly what happens here. Like, literally.
Like that time Miles ran away, you know? Not Miles,
Kyle?
No, remember that well, Kyle as well. Remember that jobber in season 3, the prospect?
Hopper?
Oh,
What's his name? No, it wasn't Hopper.
no, I don't know. But the guy that...
Shepherd.
Aye.
Shepherd's
You know,
pie is
sure,
awesome.
sure, he proved that he wasn't club worthy, so... Yeah, just a shit look for Patsy. Making a run for it and running into, like, fucking, I don't know, some sort of swamp.
Yeah, pathetic.
Never.
So he escapes. Did he have something to do it? Who knows? But Tony then returns home. And I thought it was a funny scene because you've got Tony telling Carmela, but then you've got Ro looking through all these funny pictures, and it just shows you she's escaped that life because pretty much everyone in her family's fucking dead. And maybe that's the only way till you can truly escape it. But Tony's telling Carmela, right, Bobby's dead, Sil's pretty much dead. You need to go. There's no two ways about it. Do not moan me. And it's like she's fighting it. It's like you're not just finding out this second, right, that Tony's in the mafia. What do you make of Carmela's fight here? Pathetic.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, you're aware what he does. Is something like this not always going to come?
Yeah, at some point.
Is this day not possible?
Yeah.
That Tony was going to come home and be like, right, you guys need to get out of here.
No, absolutely.
And today is the day. Carmela doesn't really want to leave. Tony convinces her. AJ doesn't want to leave.
He drags him down the stairs.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I think he was trying to be patient, but then I don't know. Someone just switched. And he's like,
He
fuck
tells
this.
him Bobby's dead, and AJ whips out, I'm depressed.
He makes it about himself.
His uncle's dead, and he whips that out. And then Paulie comes over, tells him that the doctors have said that Sil's probably not going to wake up. Who knows what will happen in that regard. And then, essentially, the episode ends. Tony, Paulie, Carlo, Walden, and Dante Greco go to a safe house. Tony goes to the bed. He remembers Bobby's words. You probably don't even hear it when it happens, as he sleeps clutching his AR-10 assault rifle that Bobby gave him for his birthday. So, a nice wee ending. But I just can't help but feel...
We've only got one episode left, and this should have happened fucking halfway through the season.
Yeah, I know people will argue, right, well, you know, not every war's dragged out. Wars can end quickly, and hell, maybe this one will be over in 10 minutes' time, who knows? But I just... I look through the history of this show, right, and I look at Chris. Would he not have been useful in this war? I look at somebody like Ralph. Furio's not even dead, by the way.
Furio.
It's like, yeah, I just think by the time we get to the war, Tony's crew's that weak. It's like, do you really think they're really going to stand a chance against New York? It's like, I don't think so.
What's happened to your voice?
I don't know, it went.
Anyway, no, I don't. But anyway, what's the chances it stand in the ratings? I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I thought it was good. I liked it.
I liked it, and I remember watching it first time, and it's like, fuck, they've just wiped out Sil and Bobby, so, I mean, that's pretty massive. I'll get an 8 out of 10 as well, but I just can't help but feel there's a rushed element to it. I can't help but feel that. But what's your final predictions? One episode to go. Who's dying? New Jersey took a lot of casualties this episode. I think New York's bound to take some.
I'm going to go with Phil. I don't know. Phil, Tony.
Phil, Tony, is Sil going to wake up? Is Paulie going to survive?
I think Paulie will survive. I can see him be the last guy standing. Just being a shite bag, not engaging.
Not engaging in the war. Anyway, it's an 8 out of 10. That's it for the Blue Comet. Bobby's dead. Till next time. Peace.